Well, good morning. So this is the day after the first operation. So it's day 2 today. And despite how I look, I actually slept really well. I slept at a 45-degree angle and I slept really well. I didn't need any painkillers at all. My head's a little bit sore this morning, but not enough even at the moment to take any paracetamol or anything. It's just it's sore across the temple. There was quite a bit of leakage last night and I felt it right down the back of my neck, and my collar on my shirt is absolutely soaked. And I've made the stupid decision to bring with me a white short sleeve shirt. I want to have a shower. Slightly worried that I'm going to get my head wet, which is an utter no-no at the moment. So I'm going to have to figure out a way around that. But yeah, really good night's sleep. I was really surprised. I didn't think I was going to sleep that well. I've probably spent the best part of 20 minutes this morning literally just in the mirror admiring the fact that there's hair at the front of my head. It's quite a special moment, really. I know there's a lot of healing process, and I know that there's still work to do, and you know, there's a swelling and it will all fall out and all the rest of it. But certainly from my point of view, over the last 5 years, I've become more and more self-conscious of my hair and how I look. So to wake up in the morning, and particularly like when I look at the side like that, and to see that there's hair, or there will be hair at the front of my head that I can style rather than comb over the back to try and form some kind of hairline is quite profound, really. And it was just something I wasn't necessarily expecting, you know. And I was just thinking about the whole experience. I think there's that natural trepidation about what's actually going to happen and what are the results going to be. You just felt like you were being taken care of, and I think that's ultimately the feeling in which we want, is that reassurance that actually you're going to be okay. You're in a foreign country, certainly for a medical procedure, that understandably is very daunting. The hotel itself has been amazing. We're in one of their sort of top suites, which is all arranged for you by the clinic. The clinic arranged transportation from the hotel to the hospital and vice versa. And even tomorrow, like they've done it in a way, like my flight time tomorrow is pretty late. So I think I fly back at something like 10 o'clock. So they've kind of, rather than get up early, they've allowed me to stay in the hotel till like 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, then go to the hospital to do all of the treatment stuff, and then they'll take me to the hotel. So the fact that they've accommodated my flight times based on what I wanted to do, it's been great. I've heard sometimes that these package deals aren't great, and I understand sometimes the reason for that. I feel personally I've had the best of both worlds. You know, I've had a very experienced doctor in Dr. Turan doing the procedure, certainly doing all the implantation, the extractions and the anaesthetic have been done by his team. But his team have been so hands-on throughout the entire process, even from designing the hairline, which I thought was excellent. Sometimes it's the little things that can actually make the difference, because particularly if you're a little bit nervous about the process, knowing that all your transportation's taken care of, knowing that your food is all taken care of. You know, the only food that I've had to order is been an evening meal. And I think I ordered a bottle of water yesterday. Well, I mean, I think for 2 meals, 2 bottles of water, I spent less than £10. You know, I spent more than that at WH Smith in the airport. So it's really been brilliant. You know, the food yesterday was great. Breakfast has been good. Anyway, I'll go off to breakfast. I'll stop babbling on, and I'll see you a bit later. apologise in advance that I am very tired and I'm very woozy. I've just taken a paracetamol because I'm in quite a bit of pain at the moment. But let me talk you through the day. So got up this morning, got up about 7:30. I was dubious about coffee. I spoke to FUE Capilla and they basically said, look, you know, on the operation days, coffee isn't advisable, but what they were saying was, look, if you're having a small cup of coffee, it really isn't an issue. The key is not to have lots and lots. So I tried to be sensible, but I did have a cup of coffee last night and I had coffee this morning, and again, not very much. We're talking like in one of these type cups, so they're not huge. That's just what the hotel provide. One tip I would say around that, if you are a coffee drinker or a tea drinker, bring some bring some decaf with you. They certainly don't do any kind of decaf coffee here, and I'm in a place where I don't really know where the local shops are, and I'm not inclined to go out and wandering just for some decaf coffee. So my suggestion would be to take some with you, and then you can have some coffee. So I was asked to be ready for 10:15 so I could be picked up. I was down in the lobby probably about 1:45, and there was a guy already down there who was actually the guy I meant to meet. It was a similar situation to yesterday where they were sat there and he didn't really acknowledge me at all. And considering I looked like this and I had bandages on the back and clearly had some kind of hair transplant done, I thought, well, there's no way he's going to not miss me. There's no way he's going to miss me. And I didn't want to approach him because, if I remember rightly, I don't think he spoke much English. So he was just on his phone. So I thought, well, you know, I'll wait. And then an older chap came in who was also with him yesterday, and he recognised me straight away at 1:15 exactly. We then walked out to the van, but again, it wasn't obvious. I kind of just got up with them and walked with them. There wasn't kind of any, oh, come with us type thing. So it was a little bit awkward because I was thinking, well, am I meant to be going with them? Are they picking somebody else up? And anyway, I walked up with them to the van and they opened it up and ushered me in, so it was fine. In hindsight, I wonder whether, because everything else is so meticulously planned, there is no waiting around. Ultimately, when you get there, I wonder whether it's a case of them, the reason they weren't going straight away was because the hospital and the clinic and all the service that they provide needs to be set up before you get there. So it wasn't a problem. So we got there, and again, you're talking like a 5-minute drive, maybe 10 minutes. It really isn't very long at all. And again, the type of transportation that you're going in is really good. So I arrived in the car park and saw, and I keep getting her name wrong, but Miss Ferrari. I know her last name was Ferrari. She was the interpreter, and she has been absolutely brilliant over the last couple of days, because I've been quite nervous on both days, really. You're in a foreign country having an operation, and you know, you do hear some horror stories every now and again, but honestly, it was just brilliant. There was no consultation today, so it was literally a case of walking directly into the operating room, and everything was set up, everything was ready to go. You literally had to take off my shirt, and as you can see, I stupidly wore a white shirt today. I've had a little bit of blood on the back of the collar, but nothing too bad. We then changed into a gown, did my blood pressure, put a cannula in originally, and then laid face down. And the guy who did my anaesthetic or pre-anaesthetic yesterday with the needleless pen, he did that again today. And again, really accommodating. I say accommodating, just pleasant, just nice. You know, how are you? How did you sleep? That type of thing. Just friendly, and you know, that means a lot. It's those little things. My head was a little bit sore. Certainly, the back of my head was a little bit sore today, which I noticed at the point of them doing the injection. So I felt it a little bit more, but again, that wasn't certainly a problem.
They then did the actual injections, and that did hurt a little bit more. Again, you know, if yesterday perhaps was like a 3 or 4, maybe this was about a 5. Each injection lasts for 2 seconds, and there was quite a few of them. I can't remember exactly, but throughout the day, I would say there was about 15 injections, and partly that was through my request because I could feel things more than I felt yesterday. So when they were, in fairness, I didn't feel any of the extractions. I thought that was brilliant, and I fell asleep again, so that was fine. But when it came to the implantation, certainly on the mid scalp and the crown, that hurt. That hurt quite a bit. I felt that a lot more. They did say that the implantations on the crown you can feel them a little bit more, and they were good as gold. You know, when I said, all I had to say was the word pain, and they would immediately stop and they would put some extra anaesthetics. That was the reason that I was having all these extra injections. And the way the sessions go is the first session it's split into 4. The first stage they extracted 1,000 grafts. Then Dr. Turan came in and implanted those 1,000 grafts, and we then stopped for lunch. And lunch again today was brilliant. It was similar to yesterday. There was beef rather than chicken today, but again really nice. Even like the salad, they put some kind of dressing on the salad, which was just amazing. It felt like a really nutritious lunch, and I think that's important, you know, that you're on a full stomach, because you're getting all of these different drugs and all sorts being pumped into you, so it's important that your stomach isn't reacting too much to that. So then we carried on, next part of the extraction. One thing I would say about the extraction was they are telling me not to face down, and yet the first thing I had to do was face down onto this pillow. And to be honest, it didn't really hurt. It was a little bit sore, but it was bearable enough where I could go to sleep. So we're talking minimal amount of pain. So they then took the final set of extractions from mainly the side of my head this time, and they extracted 4,168 grafts, which was, and implanted those as well. So, you know, which I felt was just incredible. You know, I was quoted somewhere in the region of 3,700 to 4,000. So, you know, they went over that. Now, there's no extra charge for that or anything. It was just, and he said to me, because I think I said yesterday, my donor area isn't particularly thick. I think per centimetre square graft, it was in the region of 45 to 47. And what they were telling me is that the average is, say, 55. So it is slightly thinner. Lots of single grafts I had rather than, you know, and some doubles and that, but I didn't see many triples or quadruples or anything like that. So it may not be the most dense look, but providing I can style my hair in a way, I'll be really happy with the result. And he said to me, look, I'm not going to count how many grafts I'll get as many as I can without damaging your donor area. And I thought that was a really good way of putting it, and it certainly put my mind at ease. It got to the last bit of the day, and if I'm being really, really picky, yesterday, because what I wanted was, I didn't want a straight hairline. I wanted something with a little bit of a curve and a bit of I wanted a widow's peak. I like the idea of when you grow your hair out, you can brush it to one side and it gives it a bit of definition. When I was in my early 20s and had a full set of hair, my hairline was relatively straight, and I always thought that was a bit boring in terms of styling my hair. So I figured that this was the opportunity to be able to go, yeah, all right, let's do something a bit different. Now, if I was being really nitpicky yesterday, and I'll show you a photo, but I felt the peak was slightly off center. Now, I'm conscious that I'm dealing with professionals here who know what they're doing, and if you look at a lot of people's hairlines, it isn't completely straight, and that's the idea of how they're able to get a natural look. So all I asked for him today was just, could he just double check the hairline to make sure that it was symmetrical? And he stopped what he was doing. He took out his measuring tool, which was like a laser, and he put it across my my eyebrows, and he looked at it, and he stopped and considered, and he said, okay, lie back down, and I did. And he continued doing his work, but I noticed at the end he obviously had some single grafts left, and he redid some of the hairline, and I didn't even notice it until I got back and looked at the photos, but he's actually changed where the point is, so it's right in the middle. So I didn't ask for that, but he'd obviously just changed it enough, and I'm really, really pleased with what they've done. At the end of the surgery, again, my head was really sore at this point. They asked me whether I would like any kind of anaesthetic, which I accepted. So they put some more anaesthetic in, and I got dressed, and they've taken me back. They've given me this, which I think I showed you yesterday, and inside is instructions on medication. So at the moment, and this was the other thing, I'm not particularly great at swallowing tablets. So what they've given me so far is some paracetamol, which I've just taken one now because it is sore, feels sore at the moment. If I could describe the pain, it's like you were out in the sun and got really, really bad sunburn. That's how I would describe it. They've also given me these, which I'm not entirely sure what it does, but I've got 6 of those. I've got to take 3 tomorrow, 2 the next day, and then 1 the next day, and then I've completed that course. I've also got to start taking my antibiotics tomorrow, all on a full stomach. I've got to take these twice a day, 1 every 12 hours for 7 days. So that's all the medication I've been given today. There is some, tomorrow they're going to provide me with some saline solution, some shampoo, some foam lotion, some various creams. So it will all, and obviously tomorrow they'll do my first wash as well. So hopefully, by the sounds of it, I'll have everything I need to take back. I've had to make sure that on the flight back, because of the requirements of needing liquids under 100 ml in your cabin luggage, that checked in my luggage on the way back, which cost, I think it was an extra £20, but it means then I haven't got to decant anything. I can just put everything into my hold luggage and fly back without any issues. I don't know what they're going to do about the bandages. Hopefully I get to take them off tomorrow after they do the first wash, because they're a bit of a pain to have on, but obviously I'm expecting tonight certainly to have some leakage. So that's today. So overall, really, really pleased. I can't bend down, but I'll try and get my iPhone to show you some pictures, different angles, but that's the hairline. And that's the other thing, they said do not bend down even to look at your phone, because all the saline solution that they've put in your head, the swelling could go down into your face and all the rest of it. So yeah, that's it for today, and I'll let you know how tomorrow goes, and yeah, I hope you found this useful.
Morning everyone. So this is day 3 technically. Operation lasted 2 days, so I'm classing this as day 3. Slept really well again. There was quite a bit of leakage. Again, you know, not excessive. They gave me some of these pads, which helped, so it didn't go over the hotel's bed sheets, because I can imagine that's a horrible job if you've got a bunch of people all having hair transplants, making your hotel an absolute mess. I'm due to be picked up at 2 today, and what was quite nice, I went and spoke to the reception staff just to ask what time checkout is, and they said 12 o'clock. So I messaged FUE Capilla and just said, you know, just clarify what time they're picking me up, because I've got to be out by 12. And they said, oh, don't worry, we've just spoken to the hotel, we've got you a late checkout for 2 o'clock, so we'll still pick you up at 2. So I thought that was pretty good. Again, really, really good customer service throughout. And again, that extends to the staff here as well. You know, just simple things. This morning, at the breakfast table, everyone's smiling, everyone wants to help you. You know, they can't do enough for you. You know, the moment you finish a cup of coffee, can we get you another one? So just the whole experience, considering
what has been quite a, it is a traumatic surgery. It's not something you do every day. It just makes the whole experience just that much better. They'll do my first wash at the clinic this afternoon, and then I believe they'll take me directly from the clinic to the airport. So yeah, excited, looking forward to going home now, I think. But certainly pain-wise, I'm not in any pain. I did have to take a paracetamol last night when I got back to the hotel. I was sore then, but I've not been in any pain whatsoever since, which is really, really positive. I'm not sure what the flight's going to be like. It's a 4-hour flight, air pressure and all the rest of it. That might be an interesting experience later on. The exciting part is done. Now it's the recovery phase. So I'll keep you updated later on.